Both Moscow and Tehran confirmed their support for the government forces, vowing to wipe out what they call terrorists. However, there are fears of a humanitarian disaster in Idlib, as hundreds of civilians fled the northwestern province on Thursday. The Tehran meeting could determine the scale and timeline of an Idlib offensive, which the United Nations has warned may displace 800,000 people. Our correspondent Dan Ashby has the story.
There have been many dark days for Syria, but the Battle of Idlib could bring the bloodiest of them all. Russia and the Syrian government are preparing to flush out thousands of what they say are terrorists. But more than 1 million children are trapped, and the US has warned it will not tolerate wholesale slaughter.
I just tell you that they will hopefully be very, very judicious and careful, because the world is watching. That cannot be a slaughter. If it's a slaughter, the world is going to get very, very angry. And the United States is going to get very angry too.
But Russia has brushed aside US warnings of airstrikes and says the problem of Idlib must be solved. Moscow has described Idlib as a festering abscess and a hotbed of terrorists. Its warplanes are already bombing targets, and it's all set to back the Syrian government in what's likely to be the final bloody battle of the Syrian war. In last-minute talks, Russia, Iran and Turkey will try to find a humanitarian solution that would see families move into Syrian government control. The fear is that many will not trust President Bashar al-Assad's assurances and will stay put. But Russian analysts say it is the US that is jeopardizing the peace.
Why doesn't the US like our peace talks? Russia, Turkey and Iran took responsibility to arrange the Syrian conflict settlement without US participation. The US doesn't like that Turkey, a NATO country, is leaning towards Russia and Iran. So the Americans are trying to undermine our peace settlement at any cost.
Iran says it will continue to back the Syrian government, and yet Turkey fears a massacre may happen. Once again, there are 5 governments wrangling over what should happen next, and 3 million people whose fate depends on it. Dan Ashby, CGTN, Moscow.